So, we're now in HMS Enterprise, Emerald class cruiser. This thing is an absolute beast, and we do have a plane on board, but I don't think it's going to be usable. So we've got the 152mm guns, the 6-inch guns, which some serious firepower on these things, and the 102 secondaries as well. So let's go back to this point and let's spawn it up. So unfortunately the OS2U is not usable yet. I would really like to see it as an actual usable vehicle. It would be kind of neat. So this is a proper cruiser now. Look, the Condottieri class cruiser, as I say, is basically a large destroyer. When you actually look at it, it was basically designed for destroyer hunting. The Emerald class, although it's a light cruiser, was actually designed as a cruiser. It was designed as a light cruiser, but it does have some proper armour on board as well. This thing has actually got decent armour for the ship. You've also got very big guns, and a lot of them. It's a big old boat, this thing. The crew around the same as a Condottieri. You had around about 500 to 600 crewmen on board, but yeah, it's just glorious. I do like the internals as well. Just to take a brief moment to enjoy this and look at the ship. We've actually got ladders and stuff in the engine room, things like that. I really do like those little details. Yeah, this thing is an absolute monster. It's just beautiful. Really is. You can see on deck there as well, we've got all our officers. So, and you can really just see how big this thing is. You can see the humans inside, you know, you can see how big this ship is outside as well with those guns. You know, you can just see this thing is just a monster of a thing. Alrighty, well, we're going to start to get into a firing range soon of some enemy ships. So we're going to start turning a little bit. We're actually going to turn in and go more towards the centre of the map this time, I think, rather than where we were before. Fire off those main guns. Big old 152mm are making their big old pounding bangs. As I say, one of the problems is the I guess the traces of the main guns is kind of hard to see. They might want to redo the traces for the main guns, because it's just a little bit iffy to actually see what's happening with them. They just look a little bit off, especially when you're firing your secondaries, things like that. It's very tricky to see what's going on. Now, as ever on this map, the enemy are capping the zones first from the other side. It's a weird thing on this map. It's not a very balanced map, in all honesty. We've got a destroyer coming round the corner there. About 5,000. Some hits there. Nothing major yet, but hopefully we'll get some good hits on this guy. It looks like could be a Soldati. There we go. That was a tribal class. There we go. So, yep, so HMS Tribal there is absolutely doomed by our guns. That's the thing about a cruiser to a destroyer, is these guns are brutal, and they're designed to be, you know, they're designed to really cause some significant damage to a ship when they hit. Maybe a little bit short, actually. The broadside there of a cruiser, and we've got a full salvo incoming. looks like an emerald as well, so we'll see how those shots go. Hits on the deck. I'm actually going to switch to AP here, because we need that extra armor piercing for this ship, just because it is a very well armored ship, especially when it's angling as well, which is what it's doing. Just turning in on us now. Oh, you lucky bastard. So yeah, those HG shells absolutely wrecked that tribal class destroyer. Another enemy ship just here. Looks like another emerald class. Now we're getting quite close to the enemies right now, so we are going to start to get some serious fire incoming. Just firing a little bit too far in front at the moment. They're going a little bit slower than we thought. So there should hopefully be some good shots there. Yep. Got some planes incoming. Start to make some evasive manoeuvres. So yeah, these the Emerald class does feel a bit more cruisery, in all honesty. Now we've got an enemy ship very close to us there. We're going to get some fire from our side, so we're going to start smoking again. Hopefully those shots will be on target. Oh, just a little bit short there. That guy is gone. Should just get over the island. We might get some hits straight on the front of that ship. There we go. Nice bow hits on our fellow Emerald class there. Try and get for the water line. They're taking out the front of that ship. Now we need to take out the back section of her. There we go. Straight into the side of the ship there. Now we've got more coming in. Yeah, the Emerald definitely feels much more reliable, much like the Italian destroyer, as I say. For hunting... This guy's doing a turn, so we should get some hits on this guy. He's actually... looks like he's actually almost beached himself slightly. He's caught on some land mass. Secondaries will be firing up on this guy as well. Go through the smoke screen here. Just going to lessen our range a little bit. So I've got a Lancaster incoming, or a Halifax. Now the smoke screen is obscuring that guy pretty well now. We have got some more enemy ships on the horizon over there. Bad shots there by me. Oh shit, and we've got a torpedo incoming. Took that right on the bow, but we are okay. You know, one of the things about cruisers as well is they are designed to take a few hits, so we're not going to die instantly from a torpedo most of the time. The torpedo mechanics there, that's much better. I think having torpedoes harder to see is good. We've basically become hull broken. So we are not going to last too much longer here. Might get some good hits on this Emerald though. It's very close to us. Sort of stuck, basically. Basically stuck to another ship at the moment. Boiler room is done. Managed to avoid the torpedoes that guy sent out. But I'd say this style of fighting was pretty rare for cruisers. There we go, we have managed to destroy that Italian ship. Finally. We are basically beached here now, so doing too well. Good hits on the front of that that's a destroyer, tribal class destroyer there. So we're firing our AP shells here, so not as much damage to that enemy ship. We have got a destroyer to the left of us as well, actually. Quite a few destroyers to the left of us. We're probably going to sink very shortly. Just because we are very much in a pickle right now. There is a PT boat coming towards us as well. We should cause quite a lot of damage here, just being this close with our AP shells, in all honesty. But we are going to get absolutely wrecked by torpedoes any second. And we're finally down. So, Salvo did get us in the end. Let's take out... No, we'll keep with the cruisers. We'll spawn up in this point. So... We got 4 kills, 2 assists by the looks of it, so some serious action there. The Enterprise does give you that feeling of strength, in all honesty. It just feels so much better as a cruiser, because it is better. Balance is going to be really hard for this game mode, because, well, as you saw, we did have some... you know, some of the enemy boats did manage to do a few bits and bobs to us, but we are able to take so much more fire in this ship. When you're actually up against the Condottieri class cruiser, you're able to take so much more gunfire than that. So you're able to really sort of basically survive its shots, especially when you're angled, because you do have that armour on the bow, and also your engine room and gun turrets are well armed, so well armoured, so you don't have to worry about being penetrated quite as much, where the Condottieri just tends to just have everything going straight through you. So, yeah, I don't know how they're going to balance this mode, really. It's going to be interesting to see. Now, this is a very long video, as I say. This is basically just a real big look at the cruisers. I'm not sure, I might split it up, but not too sure yet. But, try some long fire shots here, just for the sake of doing something as we're travelling across the open ocean. Yeah, it will be interesting to see, and you know, look, in all honesty, the real life variants of these ships as well, it was shown very much. Oh, it's got some hits there at what, 7,000 kilometers. That's quite good, or 7,000 meters, sorry, I should say. Now these will go straight through the deck armour of the ship that we are firing against, so we will cause quite a bit of damage yeah, at these ranges. It's quite devastating when you hit a ship on the bow, on the deck armour. So we have got two ships over there. Look possibly like destroyers. If we can get some shots on target, we should cause some serious damage to these guys. A little bit short, they're going a bit faster. See, these are the ranges that naval combat is basically at its best, I feel. When you're close up, it's very exhilarating, of course, but it does feel a bit contrived, so to say. Now we're firing our HE shells at these guys, so hopefully we will get some good damage. Now they look like they're heading off towards C point. It's on the engine room as well. We should start getting some good shots on these guys soon, hopefully. It's a bit hard to click on the enemy targets as well, so that is something to bear in mind when you are firing these guns. To actually change target can be quite hard. Go straight into the smokestacks there. We could switch to AP here, possibly, but I'm going to keep up the HE salvos for now. We just need to go a bit lower because we're just a bit high. Taking out the engine room, so this guy's not going to be moving very far. Should get the kill, hopefully, in a second. Firing against a destroyer at, you know, medium range here with very big guns. That smoke is not going to help me one iota. Thank you very much, mate. There we go. So we managed to take out that destroyer. Torpedoes incoming. You have got to really keep an eye out. It does sort of bother me a little bit. Your crew, of course, should notice that a bit more. We've got a PT boat there. Close encounters. Close quarters, sorry, I should say. But we are going to be finishing this game very shortly because we are going to lose. As is ever on this map. I don't think I've ever seen anyone starting from this side of the map win on this map, which does say a lot about the balance. There we go, that little PT boat's coming back out. There we go, goodbye PT boat. That's what happens when you go in front of a cruiser in a PT boat. When you get hit by 152mm guns, they do cause a lot of damage. Now we've got another destroyer there. Basically destroyed it. You know, that the balance of the destroyers and the cruisers feels okay. Because, yeah, look, a cruiser should absolutely wreck a destroyer if it's within gun range. We're just going to beach it here, I think. And we've also got another PT boat there. So the secondary should absolutely destroy this guy. But if not, we will be able to hit it. No, that was a hit with the big guns, but... Another destroyer off in distance. We've also got a cruiser. Try and get a few more hits before the game ends. Straight into the front there. Unfortunately, we didn't hit the ammo rack of that guy. If we did, it would have been game over. There we go. Ammo rack to that guy. And got a nice hit on the front of this cruiser. Now we'll fire our AP shells. The game's going to finish any time now. We might be able to get a hit on their ammo rack. We're firing quite low to the waterline here. Just got to watch out for those pesky little PT boats. Tribal class close up to us as well, which is friendly. And we're firing every secondary we got at this guy. All guns are on target. So, there we go. Managed to destroy the Enterprise, but we have lost. As is the norm on this map. Yeah. Look, that was a better game. It was more engaging for sure. But look, it's just kind of weird. What, we got 9 kills in that game, so that wasn't bad at all. So 3 more than anybody else in that game, and 5 assists. Look, how do you explain this? You know, the cruisers are more interesting, I think, at range. You know, firing off at that long range, trying to gauge your shots is more interesting. If you've never played it, play Atlantic Fleet. It's free on your phones. You can actually play for free on your phones, and you have to actually get the angle of your gun set, rather than just clicking on it and range finding. I think maybe a system where you have to angle the guns correctly could be interesting. Make the gameplay more immersive at long distance. Now, this game mode is fine for arcade battles, don't get me wrong, this is how arcade should feel, but for realistic battle, for simulator battle, I think they need to actually have a more involved gunnery system, something that's a bit harder, because at the moment it's just way too easy. Okay guys, well I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's a bit of a long one, I'm afraid, so strap in and enjoy a cup of tea. I might split up the 2 videos, as I say, just for the Condottieri and the Enterprise. Actually, I am going to do that, so if you are watching this, it's not as long as you thought, but if you've watched both, you've done very well. Alright guys, until next time, this is me, Screezilla, out. Bye bye.